credit repair hacks nobody is talking about in 2025. I am exposing them all in this 25-part series. This is part 17 of 25, and we are talking about consumer laws that you can use inside of credit repair. And again, there's two parts because there's the FCRA, which is the Fair Credit Reporting Act, and usually that's kind of like where the credit bureaus are going to be under, right? And then there's also the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. So I'm going to be giving you guys an outline of both of those. Those are the main consumer laws that you want to be focused on when it comes to credit repair, debt collections, and just, being an educated consumer overall so you don't allow these companies to take advantage of you. So again, make sure if you are new here, you have subscribed to the channel. Give me a huge thumbs up. And if you want access to this guide, comment the word guide and I will get you access. So again, guys, there are a lot of different resources out there. And if you do need legal help, I highly recommend that you reach out to a licensed attorney that is from your state. I am not an attorney. I don't give legal advice. This information is for educational and informational purposes only. And I don't recommend that you listen to some of these gurus on here that are not a licensed attorney. Okay. So let's get into it. If you do need an attorney, this is a great resource for you guys. And again, I've pinned all of this inside of the guide, and it is a consumer advocate. And these are licensed attorneys, and you can actually search for an attorney. If you just go to find attorney, and I have that in our guide as well, you can find an attorney that is inside of your state here. And if you're looking for, someone that specializes in bankruptcy or credit reporting or debt collection, you can, search for those things, but just hit search and you'll find someone, because this is not just your average consumer attorneys. These are consumer advocates that want to fight for you. Okay. And here is one really good consumer advocate that I highly recommend if you're in the state of New York. So this is their information, but they have a ton of great resources on that website, consumeradvocates.org. This is 15 U.S. Code Chapter 41. And I like to use the Cornell Law website because it's super user friendly and it's free. But these are all of the consumer protection areas that you should be aware of when it comes to just being a consumer and being an educated consumer. Now, the two sections that we're probably going to be focused on the most is going to be 15 U.S. Code Chapter 3, which is under the credit reporting agencies. And this is the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Okay. This was put into place to protect consumers from erroneous errors, fraudulently information reported. So you can go through all of these different codes, and these are the main codes that these credit repair lawyers or even credit repair specialists are using inside of their dispute letters. And honestly, all that you have to do is just take these codes, pop it into ChatGPT, and ask ChatGPT to write you a consumer law dispute letter to the credit bureaus using this law or that law or whatever the case may be. And these are the main areas that you kind of want to be focused on. And again, each area has the definitions and the outline of what that looks like. And even when you start going through the law, and again, all of these are linked to the Cornell Law website. So all you have to do is just click on it and it's going to take you right to their website where you can see the law right then and there. For example, 15 U.S. Code 1681B, permissible purpose. That's going to cover consumer inquiries and what is a permissible purpose. And if you read through this, there is a lot of gray area. Okay. So it could be misinterpreted. And that's a lot of times what happens is when someone's not a lawyer, they misinterpret information, which can be easily done because it could be seen that way, right? It really could be. Read through this and basically it's going to tell you what that would look like. Okay. Now, if you feel like that person or that company did not have permissible purpose to pull your credit, then you can certainly dispute it and get it off. You can call in. It's probably the fastest way. Now, I've highlighted a lot of the key areas of the Fair Credit Reporting Act that are probably most common when it comes to credit repair. We've got permissible purpose. That a lot of time is going to be, credit inquiries, right? Did they have permissible purpose to pull the credit? Block. The 1681C2, that's what is very popular to get items blocked from your credit if you have been a victim of identity theft or mistaken identity, mixed identity. Those things are going to fall under that section. 1681C3 is also a block, and that is a trafficking block. And I talked about trafficking, and if you were a victim of trafficking, how to, supply that information to the credit bureau to get those items blocked from your credit. Now you can see other areas are definitely, could be potential for you, compliance procedures, disclosure of investigation to consumer reports. There's a lot of information here, right? And just because I highlighted it doesn't mean that it's, this is it, that's all. There's a lot of other ways, or other laws that could be applicable to you. But these are some of the most common ones that I see out there that even I use in my dispute letters. Procedure in case of disputed accuracy. How is the credit bureau investigating this? Because they have to ensure that the information that is reported on the credit is 100% accurate. I don't care if it's $1 difference, a day difference. That is not accurate, right? There's only one accurate answer. And that's why I recommend you get your credit reports from Smart Credit, okay? That's going to give you the 3B report side by side so you can point out the errors really easy, okay? All of this information is inside of the description so you can highlight, okay, well, that is different, because every credit bureau, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, they should have the same exact data. Is that going to be the case? Heck no. They always are making errors. So it's up to us to pinpoint those errors and let them know that, hey, this is inaccurate. This is fraudulent. This is an error. You have to fix this. Okay. Now, civil liability for willful noncompliance. We've got civil liability for negligent noncompliance. Okay. So if they're just ignoring you, you can say, hey, look, by law, you are violating and you are being non-compliant. So these are all of the different laws that are covered under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Okay, so you can use those inside of your dispute letters. You don't even have to be a credit repair expert, but you can see, okay, this is probably going to apply for me. Click on it. It'll take you right to the law and you can see if that's something that you want to include in your letter to the credit bureaus. Now, we also have the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. This is primarily what collection companies fall under. Okay. Now keep in mind, if the original creditor is the collector, the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act only applies to third-party collection companies. So if it's a law office, that's a third-party collection company, right? Now, if it's Capital One and Capital One is trying to collect on it, that's a different story. But if Capital One is having a lawyer trying to collect on it, that lawyer is a collection agency. So they have to follow the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. This is where a lot of people are able to sue debt collectors and collect huge amounts of checks because of the violations that these debt collectors constantly are making. And in an earlier series, I have actually given you the top 25 ways and most common violations that these debt collectors are making, because each violation is $1,000 plus damages. Okay. So you can get a pretty good claim together, get your proof. You can take it to federal court. You can take it to state court. You can even take it through arbitration and get $10K. Sometimes that's not big enough for some people, but some people that would be okay. They're okay with that because they're going to continue to sue them every single time. All right. But there's people out there that all they do is sue debt collectors and make a really good living out of it. Vance Dotson, he was on our credit community call. And in this call, we talked about how he sues debt collectors. He's made one claim was over $1 million. So he has literally made millions of dollars and continues to sue debt collectors to this day. He's been doing it for over 10 years now, has a ton of experience. So if you are looking for a consumer advocate, I would recommend Vance, okay? If you don't want to pay for a lawyer, I would recommend him out of anyone out there, because not only does he have the results, but he's not going to provide you with false promises. He doesn't need your money, okay? So this is what you can use inside of your dispute letters if your goal is just to get the item deleted or just kind of work on the smaller basis of things, even if you wanted to take it to arbitration. These are some of the violations that these debt collections are constantly making, but this is the law that they have to follow. And again, this is all linked to the Cornell Law website, so you can read and study this information. It's very easy to understand. You see how short it is, okay? The use of threats, violence, okay? They're not allowed to do that. Profane language, okay? Record all of the conversations. Answer the phone, let them violate them. Let them try to threaten you. Let them curse at you. So there's a lot of just great information. I'm not even going to lie. This is just amazing information, because the more that you are educated, the more equipped you are to make money. Information is like the new gold now. All right. So if you wanted to sue debt collectors, you could start learning here. You can get with Vance, join his mentorship, and definitely be on that same path. But if you're just doing this for yourself, this is what you need to do. Okay. These are the laws right here that you can do. Validation of debts. This goes over how they have to validate the debt. Okay. And the notice and all of the information on disputed debts. Okay. So there's just a ton of great information in here. And this is all linked in here, guys. So this is just part of, what we would cover inside of the credit community. We go a lot deeper inside of the credit community, but this is just, for someone that says, hey, I want to start learning the law. I want it simple, easy to understand, easy to digest. This is lined out for you right here, because this is as easy as it gets. I was so confused when I first started learning the law, all these different people saying different things. This is it. This is the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act and the Fair Credit Reporting Act. You've got it right here at your fingertips at a bird's eye view. Everything is linked right to the Cornell Law website, and you can study it and apply it to your credit repair letters and start getting some amazing results. Now, mind you, if they have violated the law, that would still entitle some people to say that is aggravated identity theft, because they are making a violation. So I would need to file a FTC report so I could supply this to the credit bureaus so they could take action against this. All right. That's what a lot of people still do, even though it might not be identity theft, but it could be considered, something in that realm if it's simply unauthorized or fraudulent information, or you have no relation with them. So use it how you will, guys. Incorporate it, enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't by now, make sure that you have subscribed to the channel. Give me a huge thumbs up, and definitely get access to the free credit kit online, because that has a ton of information in there that you definitely don't want to miss out on while I am still giving it for free. Take advantage, because it's like, that's literally a course that someone would probably charge you $1,500 for. But I'll see you next time.